Hello, and welcome to the Mills Pets Podcast, Episode 3. Today, I'm going to be talking about the most common pet I've never had. If you listened to the last episode, you may have noticed that a very common pet was never mentioned. I'm going to get into my journey with not having this type of pet. But before I get started, I'm curious, between cats and dogs, is there one that you have never had? Or maybe both? And if so, why? But let's be really nice in the comments because we don't want to be arguing like cats and dogs. It came about very naturally because my mom and my dad had reasons for not having dogs. My mom had dogs growing up, and frankly, she just didn't like dogs. She did like Cocker Spaniels okay, but she just wasn't a dog person. Having a lot of different types of pets as she was young, she really was drawn to cats and she became a tried and true cat person. As for my dad, he was allergic to dogs, so being raised by parents where one didn't care for dogs and one was allergic to them, but he did like them, I should mention. We just never had dogs. I was around dogs sometimes, for example, visiting people's homes, and I dog sat at least a couple dogs. I think maybe just two, but I'm not sure. But I just didn't get dogs because they are so different from cats. For example, if you walk into someone's house, the dog is right there, sniffing you and wanting to be petted. And also, I could smell dogs, whereas cats don't have an odor. And so I just never really quite got them, their energy level and the way they want to socialize with people. It just wasn't the same as what I was used to with other animals. I feel like a lot of my opinions about dogs were from my mom and not from experience. I loved my mom and I trusted her, so I believed her that dogs weren't great. We did have family friends with, I think, a miniature schnauzer and other family friends with a golden retriever over the years, and I liked those two dogs. I just wasn't a dog person and I wouldn't have gone to seek them out to pet them or anything like that. One of the positive memories I have of the golden retriever is that her family had puppies. I should say she had puppies, not her family. And they let us go see them, and I just remember thinking how adorable they were. But now I'm going to get to the part of the story where everything begins to shift, and I decided maybe I'm also a dog person. One time, my neighbor's adult son came over to the property line holding his black Chow Chow puppy. Let me tell you, that little dog looked like a cute black bear cub. Well, you can probably imagine if you're young and you see a puppy that looks like a cute little teddy bear or bear cub. Well, I decided I want to chow chow. That being said, obviously, I couldn't do that at that time. So what I did, I believe, was I bought a book about chow chows because that's all I could have at the time. I could only have that book in my dreams. I remember reading the book though, and then realizing, oh, this is not a good fit for me. I think it was probably the temperament that wasn't a good fit for me. And I realized, well, I'm not going to have a chow chow. The next dog that I decided I needed to have, I think I have these in the right order, was Siberian Husky. And again, I was going by looks. They look almost like wolves and they have beautiful blue eyes. And I was just like, I am going to have a Siberian Husky. So again, I think I got a care book and read about them. And I was like, oh, wow, this dog and I are not a good fit because they are very much outdoorsy dogs and you need to be super, super sporty and playing with them. And they have high energy levels. So that told me again, oops, I guess I wasted money on a book probably again. You're probably wondering if I learned my lesson about not going by looks for dogs and not wasting money on buying care books about dogs, and the answer is no. Because yet again, I decided that I wanted a certain type of dog based on looks, and this time it was the Yorkshire Terrier or the Yorkie. I believe what I realized was not right for me about Yorkies, because we're seeing a theme here where I realize none of these dogs are quite right for me, is that they can have a high prey drive because of what they were originally bred to do, which I won't get into here, but you can look it up if you want to know more. Because I like small animals. Because I've only been talking about purebred dogs, I feel like I should mention rescues and shelters. All of my cats have been rescues either off the street or from shelters. I feel like if you can give a home to a pet in need, that is the way to go. My current pet family is 3 out of 4 shelter rescues. When one of my cats died, I did consider a dog, and I think I was thinking about going with the shelter if I got one back then. But with dogs, unlike cats, you don't know the size if you get a puppy. For me, it's a unique situation because I feel like a dog has to have a very specific personality and attitude towards small animals and cats. But if you can, a shelter is a great place to find a dog in need of a home. And I just did not want to talk on and on about purebred dogs and not mention that rescue and shelter dogs are in need of families. I believe it was over a couple years ago now that I started thinking about the possibility of having a dog again. However, this time I was determined not to go by the way a dog looks, because that was not really working out super well, and maybe I wanted to not waste money on books that I wouldn't use. Anyway, I took online quizzes that took into account various things, such as the fact that I have other pets and that I don't want a super active dog. There were multiple suggestions, including one that I felt clicked pretty well. Since then, I've been researching what I can about that breed, how to raise dogs in general, and gathering some supplies. I feel like it's best to wait until the current pet family is a bit smaller so a dog can get more of the attention it deserves. So this isn't a super soon thing, even if it happens. It's possible that one day I'll really have a dog, but I've not crossed the point of no return yet in case it doesn't end up being the best idea. So, how about you? Have you not had a cat or a dog? Why? Please share in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening to the Mills Pets podcast, one of which has not yet been a dog. Please like and subscribe. It helps so much and also helps others find my channel. Thank you. Bye.